Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be showing off the new TUR awakenings for the Kale, STR Kale, TEQ CAULIFLA that have been around for a little while. Got their awakenings with the release of the Kefla banner. They obviously use her medals from her Dokkan event to awaken, and both of them were already really good in the Legendary Goku event anyway, just because of the special parameters for their special abilities, and so their awakenings have just made them even better. So we're going to see them absolutely go off in this event and see just how useful they are. So obviously there's a couple of different events where you can fulfill one or both of the parameters for their passives, and obviously the Legendary Goku event is basically the best place to do it. So we'll have a quick look here in game just to see what their updated abilities are. So remember, both of them infinitely stack attack and defense, which of course already makes them good in these long form events. But then when we look at Kale, she starts off with attack and defense 80%. She gets 10% per Pure Saiyan's or Peppy Gal's ally on the team, so they already start off with a decent enough build up. Then she launches an additional super when there is a Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyan enemy, which obviously Legendary Goku event, so guaranteed additional super. And then she guards all attacks within the turn when there is an ally whose name includes Caulifla attacking in the same turn. So not only is she building up her defense, but she's going to be guarding because we're going to keep her on rotation with Caulifla. But remember, this when an ally whose name includes Caulifla, it also includes like LR Kale and Caulifla. So you can run either of these two units on rotation with LR Kale and Caulifla, and it still activates their passive. So the first part of Caulifla's passive is the same, although she only gets 8% per Universe 6 or Peppy Gal's ally on the team. But then she evades enemies' attacks when there is a Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyan's enemy, and then launches an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super when there is an ally whose name includes Kale attacking in the same turn. So obviously what that means for the Legendary Goku event is she's going to dodge automatically all the way up until Int UI Goku, when obviously dodge is disabled. But by the time we get to Int UI Goku, her defense is going to be high enough that it's not going to make really any difference. So you can see the arrow pointing down. I mean, obviously in this particular instance we did have type advantage anyway, but guard does also play into like the super and extreme types depending on what typings your units are. So Kale being able to guard, like, it's going to make her really good early on. Caulifla, of course, in the first couple of stages is going to be the best defensively because she literally cannot be hit. So it gives you a lot of sort of leeway, I guess, if you want to put it like that, in the early stages, because you don't really have to worry. Like if a whole bunch of attacks get stacked up in one slot, you can just go ahead and put Caulifla in that slot and she's not going to take any damage, especially because the Legendary Goku event, a lot of the times the multiple attacks are normally in the first slot, so then of course Kale in the second slot is going to benefit from, she gets to fire off her 2 super attacks before she's then going to actually get attacked, so that's 2 more raises on her defense, then factoring in of course the guard ability as well. So this team definitely going to be very good on this event. Champa is probably like the weakest link on the team by a significant amount, but he is a very good support unit for Universe 6, so of course Goku would super Kabe, but I mean 100k is not really even that bad considering we have type disadvantage. So, but yeah, we've showed off Kefla in a couple of videos already, but obviously she is very good in the Legendary Goku event as well. So she's going to show off a little bit here. I'm going to keep the friend one. I found a friend that has at least got a dupe, so she'll be a little bit better than the 55% showcase that we did yesterday. But we'll keep her on rotation with the LR Kale and Caulifla, and then of course that in itself is going to be a very strong rotation for this event. And yeah, we're basically just going to see these two absolutely clown on this Goku all the way through the event. We'll see just how high we can get their defense by the end. Because obviously we're going to be getting multiple supers all the way through. Caulifla not finishing off Goku here is actually good, because then it gives Kale another chance to have another super attack. Because the same standard rule applies with any of these long form events and your infinite defensive stacking units. You want them to super as much as possible earlier on, when they're not going to be taking that much damage from attacks anyway. And then of course you want them to be fully built up for later on in the event. So obviously Kefla is going to have access to her active skill all the way through the event, so there's no real reason to use her active skill now. Don't know if we can get 6 orbs though. I'm going to put these guys in the front, see if we can connect. Okay, I was hoping those greens would drop down. Alright, well, the good thing about Kefla, as we talked about in her videos already, once she goes up to Super Saiyan 2, she has that chance to dodge just automatically built into her passive, and the 6 orbs is getting you the guaranteed additional super attack. So once you get up to Super Saiyan 2, it's not a huge inconvenience if you can't get the 6 orbs. Obviously getting an additional super attack is nice, especially because she infinitely stacks her attack, but we're not relying on it so that she can actually be good defensively, because she's always going to have that 50% chance to dodge now that she has reached the Super Saiyan 2 level. So, and just like the Universe 6 stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history that we did yesterday, Kale and Caulifla are just ridiculous for this event. They're going to get multiple super attacks every turn, and yeah, going to be showing off a little bit. So, but yeah, Kefla going to be putting in some work in this event. Really, she's only going to be a little bit of a liability in the AGL phases, but even then she still has that 50% chance to dodge. So it'll be interesting to see how the 55% Kefla stacks up when we get to Int UI Goku, because obviously she's not going to be able to dodge at that point. So I wonder how she'll do in terms of taking damage. So, and then of course Super Saiyan 2 Kabe is on the team. He buffs Super STR units, so of course every time he floats in on this rotation, it's going to make Kale even stronger, both offensively and defensively, which is good because she's not going to be automatically dodging the attacks. But with her build up and the guard, and then being given that 50% extra defense from Kabe, she's going to be taking basically no damage whenever he's on rotation. So that's really, really good. And then yeah, she gets off her supers here. She's up to 1.8 on her attack with him on the rotation. So already pretty good this early on. And then Kabe can come in and take him out here. The 50% type support units are all so good, but like, I don't think I have dupes in any of them. And there's still a couple of them I don't have. I don't have TN, I don't have Hit, and I don't have Super Boo. But the physical banner is coming up soon, because we are getting the awakenings for Boo and the Gohan quite soon. So, let's see. See, another thing as well is I'm not going to use the active skill on a turn where I can't get 6 orbs, because obviously the 6 orbs is going to allow us to get a guaranteed additional super. And when we use her active skill, we get the types, we get attacks effective against all types. So what I'm going to do here, actually, because we are fighting an AGL enemy, and my Kefla in the final slot there is only 55%, I'm going to go ahead and use her active skill now.
You're tough. Man, you're tough. But I'm tougher. I'm going to blow way past you. Just you wait and see.
Because she's going to change these physical orbs to STR, which means we can get 6 orbs with her. So now in that final slot, even though she's only 55%, she's going to get a guaranteed additional super, and her attacks are effective against all types. Whereas this friend Kefla, if she doesn't get a crit, then she's not going to do a lot of damage against the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then I'll probably save her active skill for when we get to Super Saiyan Blue Goku, because he's AGL as well. And then that just helps them tear through even quicker. So not only is Kefla good on this event in general, but then yeah, once you get to one of the AGL enemies, I definitely would recommend, like, if you have the one Kefla on the team, probably saving it for Super Saiyan Blue Goku, because obviously he's a little bit harder once you get that far into the event. And then, yeah, you can just mitigate the fact that Kefla has type disadvantage by using the active skill. And of course, if you get those 6 orbs, she's going to get a guaranteed additional super attack. So yeah, even though we're at 55%, no crit needed, and we can still hit him for 1,000,000 damage. So this should finish him off, even if it's not a crit. And there you go. So see you later, Goku. And we go on to the God Goku. So this is the stage in the event where normally it starts to hit you quite a lot harder. Champa could be in a spot of bother in the final slot, if he, especially if he gets super attacked, but I think we'll be fine for the most part. Let's do a quick defense check. So yeah, KO is already up to 200k. And Kefla 138. Obviously, Kale getting the guaranteed additional supers helps a lot, whereas Caulifla only gets a chance for her additional attack to become a super if you have the Kale on rotation. So she is going to be building up a little bit slower. That's why I gave her a lot of additional in her hidden potential system and didn't give her any dodge, because obviously most events I'm going to bring her against an event where she's going to be getting that part of her passive, so giving her any dodge seems like a waste of time. And then obviously in an event like this, like I said at the start, by the time we get up to Int UI Goku and dodge is disabled, her defense is going to be high enough that it's not going to really matter anyway. So it's going to be very good. And by the time we get to Int UI Goku, they're actually going to switch roles, because I would imagine at that point Kale's defense is actually going to be a lot higher, and of course she has that guard ability. So Caulifla has type disadvantage, but her defense should still be high enough that she won't take too much damage. But Kale is definitely going to take over as being the better of the blocking units once we get to that point. So go ahead and do this. Oh, we're going to get the Dokkan attack here as well, so I'm going to take a nice big chunk out of God Goku's HP here. So, wow, yeah, Kefla taking double-digit damage from the normal attacks as well, because we have Kabe on the rotation. Unfortunately, she got super attacked and didn't dodge, but I mean, that's the most damage we've taken all events so far. So you can see this team is kind of laying waste to this event. Kind of feel bad for Hit, because, you know, Hit was the old Universe 6 leader. Because of the way they built his card with basically no defense, he became outdated very quickly, because a lot of events really need you to have good defense. And now we're rocking this like really good Universe 6 team for the Legendary Goku event, and Hit just doesn't make the cut, unfortunately. Says a lot when you bring Champa on the team, but that is literally because he's a support unit. I think it's like, I'll double check when we get to the next turn, but I'm pretty sure it's like 40% support to Universe 6, so it seemed like a good choice. Plus, at least he has type advantage when we get to Int UI Goku. But of course, we will have to be quite careful when we get to the STR UI Goku with him. So, but there you go, look at that at the bottom there. We get a full heal from the Dokkan attack. And then we can go on to Blue Goku here. So, but yeah, look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at all these attacks in the first slot. So, put Caulifla there. Off you go. And then, hopefully this will collect up some more of these physical orbs. Yeah, there you go. So we can actually get 6 orbs for Kefla on the end there. So, already off to a great start. If one of these attacks in the first slot is a super attack, then we're literally golden here. Worst case scenario, he super attacks Kefla, but we shouldn't die, because we are on full health. I would imagine him super attacking 55% Kefla though. If she doesn't dodge, we're probably looking at a good 200, maybe even 300k damage. But there you go. Yet again, we get lucky, in the AI super attacks the unit that has a 100% chance to dodge his attacks. So once we get to STR UI Goku, I'll do another defense check on the girls here, and because remember, even against STR UI Goku, Caulifla is still going to be able to dodge. So it's really only when we get to Int UI Goku that we need to be not even really worried about her, but just aware of the fact that she is going to be able to start taking damage. But her defense should be good enough that we won't need to worry too much. If she gets super attacked though by Int UI Goku, that definitely will deal some damage. That's where we want to get lucky with the attacks going more so onto Kale at that point. But okay, so we can get 6 orbs there, so I'm going to go ahead and, like we said, use the active skill for the friend Kefla.
You're tough. Man, you're tough. But I'm tougher. I'm gonna blow way past you. Just you wait and see.
Because obviously against like STR UI Goku and the Int UI Goku, we're only doing neutral typing damage. So technically we would still get an advantage from using her active skill then instead. But here I feel like it is the more beneficial place to use it, because we completely bypass actually having type disadvantage. Because as we saw on the previous one with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, well 3.5, if she doesn't get a crit in this phase, she's just not going to do that much damage. Whereas now we don't need to worry about that, and we get the guaranteed additional, and we've got Champa on rotation for that support as well. So yeah, we get a crit on the first one, so that's a nice big bit of damage, and then even without a crit, 2 million. And he's only taking 5k from his normal attacks. That's actually really good for an STR unit, especially considering, like I said, the friend only has 1 dupe. So at Rainbow, even against this blue Goku, I imagine she's going to be taking double digits. Again, probably because Champa is on the rotation, so he is giving her a pretty decent buff. But that is still very, very good. A lot of damage from the STR Kefla in this one turn. And so now, because Kale and Caulifla are going to get their guaranteed additional super attacks, they should finish him off here. To be honest, even if they don't, he should have such low health that Champa might actually finish him off. But yeah, they come through with the crit, and that is him taken down. And we go on to STR UI Goku, where, yet again, Caulifla can still dodge, so all these attacks in the front slot mean nothing. She's up to 155, which isn't amazing, like especially if we were at Int UI Goku now, I'd be a little bit concerned. And then of course we do have Kabe on the rotation, so KO is at 327k. Let me just double check what Champa's buff is. Yeah, see, it's 40% and 2 key, so he's a very good support unit for Universe 6. Plus of course remember that Kale and Caulifla are getting their defense up so high that every time we pick up same type orbs with them, we would be getting a ton of healing. Pretty sure we have not used an item yet, so the only time I think we're probably only going to have to use an item when Champa is on rotation against STR UI Goku, and then depending on how the attacks line up against Int UI Goku with the Caulifla placement on that rotation. But yeah, other than that, we are sailing through this with no issues whatsoever. Kale up to 2.1 on her attack stat now, getting close to 2.2, so she is just an absolute beast. Like that guard effect, her having guard added on top of like the infinite stack, and then like the guaranteed additional super attacks, and then we're going to get the additional super from the hidden potential as well. So yeah, she's just going off like an absolute machine, and then yeah, just takes double digit damage. So good in this event. And then Kabe, we picked up quite a lot of orbs, so he should be okay. Yeah, see, he took 130 damage. He's 55% for me. So honestly, that is actually a little bit ridiculous. I'm going to do this because it makes sense to put them in the first slot, really. And then if I do this, that drops that down, and then we can get 6 orbs for the 55% Kefla in the final spot. Because that's the thing, worst case scenario is this UI Goku super attacks and the Kefla didn't dodge, so she would actually take a reasonable amount of damage. So if we just put LR, Kale and Caulifla in the front slot, their defense should also be pretty ridiculously high now, and they have type advantage. So even a super from this UI Goku is not going to do a lot of damage to them. So, and this is the thing, right? Like, if you don't have LR, Kale and Caulifla, it kind of, in a way, it makes the TUR Kale and TUR Caulifla even better, because Kale and Caulifla obviously make this event a lot quicker because they just super attack so many times and they do so much damage. So you get through the event a little bit faster, whereas if you don't have them, you can just replace them with another Universe 6 unit, and then because you're going to take technically a few more turns to get through up to this point that we're at now, it just means that both the Kale and the Caulifla are going to have even higher defense. So very, very good. So going to get, I think, one final super attack off here with the other Kefla. And then she gets one dodge. Yeah, she took 40k. That's a bit more. That's understandable. She is the 55% one, so that's fine. And then I'll make sure. I'm going to keep putting Caulifla first, just because she does need to super attack more. But let's see our health. We're missing what? About 40k? 2 orbs. There you go. 2 orbs gave us what? Almost 20k. And then Kale's going to come in and heal us up the rest. Heal us to full. So I'm not even going to use an item to protect Champa in the final slot, because Kale and Caulifla should absolutely finish off the UI Goku this turn. So there you go. I think we potentially should be able to no items the stage. Although Caulifla didn't get an additional super attack, so actually I may have overestimated their abilities a little bit. Because Kale's going to get at least 2 super attacks here. Yes, get that third one. There you go. See, Kale came through. So, offensively, there's no real question that Kale is definitely putting in more work than Caulifla. Caulifla is only, I guess, better defensively because she gets that 100% chance to dodge, which just helps out so much. But okay, so is that 6? No, that's not 6. So, I guess we'll do this then. Because we can do that. Well, actually, I want to... Yeah, that's 6. I want to get the more orbs with Kabe just so he can get a much bigger defensive buff. Help him out in that final spot there. He might take a reasonable amount of damage from like a super especially, but we'll see how he goes here. Obviously, the LR Kale and Caulifla are not going to be in any trouble whatsoever. So if he's going to super attack this turn, if he could super attack Kale and Caulifla, that would be nice. But now now we have, of course, the dodging to contend with, which does make this final stage a little bit more annoying. And yeah, if we're not getting crits, then we're not going to be doing a lot of damage. But I mean, they're still getting a 2 million attack stat on their 12 key super, so that is pretty decent. My LR Kale and Caulifla does have 2 dupes, and then another super attack for them. Okay, still no crit. So, I mean, they did almost one whole bar by themselves. And yeah, they took very little damage. Kefla, obviously, now is unable to dodge. But we do have the defensive buff from Kabe on the rotation. And then that's a nice big crit from her. We got the 6 orbs, so she gets the guaranteed additional super attack. Yeah, 1.3 without a crit is pretty good. And then 14k, that's not terrible. He still hasn't super attacked yet, though. That makes me a little bit concerned. Because Kabe, we picked up a fair few orbs, but I think he'll still take damage. Oh, okay, yeah. How much is this going to do? This could easily do like 250k. Let's see. 279. But he only took 1,000 from a normal attack. So that's really not that bad when you think about it. So, okay, let's check these defenses now then. So, Kale, 400k. And Caulifla's only at 184. So, Caulifla, not the best for this particular rotation now. So, let me do this. Can we drop those? Yeah, we can get 6 orbs for you. So, I think what we'll do here is we will... Because I could take the risk and no items it, right? But look at our health now. If he super attacks Caulifla or Kefla, we die, basically. Because they can't dodge. And their defense is not high enough for this particular scenario. So we will have to go ahead and use an item, unfortunately. If Kabe hadn't been super attacked that last turn, I think we would definitely still be on track for being able to do a no items run with this team. But, I mean, it's just... unless he super attacks Kale, we would die from a super this turn without using an item. So I don't mind going ahead and using the Princess Snake. That's obviously going to help out Caulifla as well. So Caulifla should still now take double-digit damage from normal attacks, thanks to that nice little extra bit of damage mitigation. And Kale getting the extra super attack again. She's actually dealing reasonable damage as well, which is very, very good. Caulifla only at a 1.1 on the attack stat. So imagine if, I know they would take the place of other units, like especially the AGL Caulifla, who's getting an easy A very soon. But like, if these two were Super Saiyans as well, so they actually had the Super Saiyan link for even more damage, like they would both just be even better. So like that, I really like the fact that they made them base form, which normally a lot of the time the base form versions of units don't see as much love because they don't have like Super Saiyan or Golden Warrior or whatever to do that little bit of extra damage. But yeah, those two together are just an absolute powerhouse of a rotation, even though they don't have like links like Super Saiyan. So really, really good there. Oh, how's that? Oh, I thought we might be able to get 6 orbs. So if we can't get 6, we might as well just get this one, so we can guarantee that we at least get a super with you as well. And then we should be all good here. With the extra defensive buff from Champa, Kefla should be perfectly fine when it comes to taking normal attacks. So I think we're probably going to get close to finishing him off this turn if he doesn't dodge, because obviously LR Kale and Caulifla are going to get 2 more super attacks off here. You got this one, we got the next one is guaranteed, and then there's always the potential for their hidden potential one to come in as well. So especially if we get crits like that, might actually get the finishing blow with Kefla, which would be pretty good considering this is her celebration. But oh yeah, we got the additional normal from the hidden potential system. So still no super from Goku. Kefla coming in now at a 4.2 million attack stat. This is the friend Kefla with 1 dupe, thanks to the links with Kale and Caulifla and then the support from Champa. Oh my god, is Champa actually going to finish off UI Goku? I think he might. He's got a 1.6 on the attack stat. Let's go. Yes, Champa, the fearsome god of destruction of Universe 6, takes out Ultra Instinct Goku. You love to see it. So there you go. That is the Universe 6 team absolutely destroying the Legendary Goku event thanks to the TUR for Kale and Caulifla. We used the one item. Literally, we only had to use that item because Kabe got super attacked that turn. Imagine if he'd super attacked Kale and Caulifla, they would have taken double-digit damage, and then we could have got through with no items. But it was I didn't want to take that risk right at the end. So very, very good. Both of these units, very, very impressive. Make sure if you do have them, some of you, I guess if you pulled Kefla, you probably will have prioritized getting the medals for her first. But yeah, make sure you awaken them. They're going to be very good. When the Universe 6 stage of Super Battle Road comes to Global, this whole team essentially is just going to be really, really good for that run. The only change I think I would make for when the Super Battle Road stage drops is I would change Champa. I would actually bring Hit just because of his high chance to stun, and stunning is always very good in Super Battle Road. So there you go. That is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.